Take two, Ramsey, take two. We're back, everyone. My, oh my. What a frustrating thing. I really appreciate everyone's patience. And believe you me, these posts dropping drive me up the wall. I can only imagine that it's frustrating for you guys. We're just trying to check in, Mr. Ramsey, with the cats that... Yeah, mister. So I don't know what in the world is going on. Again, I'm so glad to have everyone back. We got to keep on chugging, Mr. Ramsey. For some reason, the internet does not flow again. We got to keep on moving because that internet is just not cutting it right there. Welcome back, everybody. Take two. Take two. Maria's here. Jeremy's here. Lori's here. Daniel's here. I love seeing all the hi agains. That just means... you guys are so committed and came crawling on back, even after this darn Facebook post kept freezing on us. So thank you for that. Let's go see what Miss Tigress Daisy is doing. We're back. We're back. Look at all the post drops are fine. We'll take whatever you can get, says Jeremy. Well, I appreciate that, but nonetheless, we got to maintain a certain level of quality for you guys on these live posts, and it's I can imagine it's a little frustrating, but hey, that's what we got to do. And you heard me say it 1,000 times before, I wouldn't have the Wildcat Sanctuary be in any other place than where it is here, so rurally located in David Farr back again. Glad to have you, Daisy, or David, excuse me. There's Daisy. Look at her way up high. Kind of chose not to zoom in just yet. Really relaxing on top of her perch or platform. Great to see everybody being so understanding. It's very much appreciated, isn't it, Miss Daisy? Gail Cook says, yay, you're back. Indeed we are, Gail. I'm not going to let you guys off that easily. I'm not going to let them off that easily, Miss Daisy. And we saw Daisy, that would have been earlier this week on Tuesday. Holy cow, Daisy, I was about to say last week, for her and Dash's pool party. I even see Dash over to my right, who even looks, he still kind of is tuckered out from his big day. So awesome to see Miss Daisy up on her platform, enjoying herself, and always, as you can see, keeping a very watchful eye on the activity that's happening around her at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Usually it's a lot of people activity, but oftentimes Daisy, along with many of the other cats, like seeing what the other kind of neighboring rescues are up to. So right now I think it's her looking from afar at one of the caretakers doing some lawn mowing. But I love, obviously we love, the Daisy stalking and her coming up and saying hi to the paparazzi. It is in Daisy's nature. She's one of our more social cats, but I do love, being able to share this with you guys, because oftentimes this is how we catch Daisy, is kind of enjoying the peace and serenity. And we know she likes coming up and saying hi to us humans, but I do like her kind of prioritizing the just sitting back and relaxing as well. And speaking of sitting back and relaxing, Dash has strategically placed his face behind one of the pylons there, so he's not to be seen. You look like you're still tired from your pool party, mister. He says, boy, oh boy, did I have a blast. Watermelon, surfboards, Hawaiian shirts, you name it. I enjoyed every aspect of it, and Dash really did make more than one splash. I was able to capture a handful on camera that we were able to share with you guys, and I really did like how he was pretty timid at first about going in the pool, and he definitely was kind of tantalized by a lot of those frozen ice chunks floating around in there. Of course, those frozen watermelons. But it wasn't until he realized that, hey, I'm going to get a hold of this watermelon, I'm going to drown it in this pool, that he kind of went in paws first. And it was great to see Mr. Dash in a big boy pool for the first time ever. So awesome, mister. And just a little bit of comedy too. It's Dash isn't so much just eating the watermelon as enrichment, as he is just kind of chunking it off and licking it and having fun with it. But it is admittedly a little funny when caretakers are kind of putting in their observations, and they'll put in an observation that Dash had red and green poop today. and we always need to remind ourselves, oh, well, that's because Dash was given watermelons for enrichment the other day. He says, but I'm a carnivore through and through, and I really like the meat and all that stuff. He says, but a little watermelon enrichment, that's fun for me. That's fun for me. I also see Gino behind me, so we're going to make our way over there. Daisy's now flattened out a little bit. And you're right, Ellen Simmons, pointing out that that's a well-loved platform that Dash was just resting on there. Yeah, one of those pylons there has really been scratched. I'm even looking across Daisy's habitat. That far pole to the right, that's got a lot of cat scratches on there from Miss Daisy as well. And truth to tell, this was Gino's old habitat. A lot of those kind of claw marks came from Mr. Gino. But obviously we know Dash the Destroyer, as he's been dubbed, is very much capable of scratching up posts himself as well. I'm going to slowly and quietly make my way over to Mr. Gino, who's in a rather, subjectively speaking, it could be a flattering or unflattering position. But we'll leave that decision up to you guys and go this direction. Oh, brother. Comfy as can be. A little bit of a foot wag there, Gino. Catch up on some comments here. Maria P saying, have a bad connection since I'm driving. We'll have to watch the replay. Definitely, Maria. Drive safe, obviously. Red and green poop. That's right, Lauren. It's always, we have our morning huddle meeting every day where we kind of come together as an entire staff and interns, and everybody kind of goes over what they're doing for the day. I'll talk about if I have any photo priorities, and caretakers will just give any verbal observations that they haven't actually made written observations of. And that was one of them given this morning, that Dash had a big old pile of green and red poop thanks to that watermelon. Oh man, I do wonder, someone commented that Gino's dreaming. I wonder what a cat like Gino would dream about. Probably a pile of food the size of him. I think I might just saw that little beautiful eye open up as well. Julie Ann's asking, how is Winona? Well, Winona's doing great. I got to check in on her yesterday to try to take some photos of her. Caretakers rearranged all the toys and barrels down in Roar Ridge. I would have shared a photo of Tiger Simon knocking over one of those barrels. Well, of course, Miss Winona rolled her barrel right over against the fence line, right where I was, so she could show off her barrel, but make it a little bit hard for the paparazzi to get photos of her. But rest assured, Miss Winona is doing awesome. And it's going to be next week. I'm not going to divulge too many details. I did find out them today, but next week we're going to be asking you guys to help us out with getting pools for those cats. Well, excuse me, for those cats who might not have an in-ground pool like Tiger Dash. And I know that Miss Tigress Winona is one of those cats. Alrighty. Well, if we're talking about Winona, we might as well head her direction and see who in between Dash and her. We'll kind of go the long way too, so we can sneak around and maybe catch Pandora out as well. Is it pool time, mister? Look at what we have here. Dash says, if those bobcats aren't going to go in the pool, by golly, I'll go in the pool. And obviously, too, I think Dash, he loves the water, but ultimately, I think it's the combination of the toys being in the water that is really kind of the cat's pajamas for Dash. I'm sure we'll come across a hot summer day where he's just soaking in the pool, just to soak in the pool. But I think, just from what I can tell in the pool party the other day, I think Dash is kind of like that kid in the bathtub. You got to have the sailboat. You got to have all the kind of floaty toys for him to have fun and splash around in that bath. And we just wrapped up our monthly Pride program, where we're kind of talking about the importance of that program and how effective those types of sustained gifts are for the rescues of the Wildcat Sanctuary. And I'm looking at Dash kind of holding on to a toy there. He's got another toy floating around in his pool, that Tipsy Tom. I'm just going to take an educated guess and say that these two toys, and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 other toys. I'm going to take a guess and say that, an educated guess that is, that these toys, a total amount of toys that Dash has in his habitat, about the 5 or 6 of them, are going to be totaling about $2,000. And that was a pretty conservative estimate. And just another great example. Even though we've concluded the campaign, you know that I always like taking every opportunity, Dash, that we can to acknowledge how important and effective everyone's support is. Nice job. Nice job. Belinda D is asking, how deep are their pools? That's a good question. And from what I kind of understand, each pool, they're obviously built the same, but some of them are a little bit different than others. I'd say that Mr. Caesar and Logan, their pool is probably going to be the deepest pool. But Dash's pool, if you were to go stand in the middle of that thing, Mr. Dashers, it'd probably be about, 3 or so feet deep. Not too deep, but enough for a cat like Dash. And obviously it's a bowl. Enough for a cat like Dash to get totally submerged in that water and cool himself off. And Jeremy and Simon, they have a kind of an irregular shaped pool, kind of actually really similar to what like a real life pool would be like. So not kind of this circular pattern that you're seeing on Dash's here and Daisy over there. It really is, each one is kind of unique in their own right. Hi, Eileen. I see Ellen replying to somebody. Oh, he's all the way in there. I see Ellen replying to someone, how big is the Wildcat Sanctuary? And that's right, we are sitting on just about 40 acres. That would have been 2 Give to the Maxes ago that we purchased some of the land adjacent to the sanctuary, just to make sure that we're protecting any local wildlife near us and hopefully have that land for future plans. We know that right now it's not going to be for expanding the sanctuary itself, but hopefully creating a little bit more space for people. Lodging and housing is a little difficult here in Sandstone, Minnesota and greater Minnesota. So us being able to have some more lodging opportunities, as well as a full-on kind of shop for our facilities staff. But those are still kind of twinkles in our eye, but that's correct. The sanctuary itself is on about 40 acres, but we own about a total of 80 acres right here in Sandstone. Gonk, 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 knock, knock, knock. What are you doing, Goofy? I did not know. When those bobcats weren't too enthusiastic about their pool, I did not foresee us getting some pool action on today's post, Mr. Dashers. Well, look at what we have here. Mr. Dashers, you know not to do that. And that kind of is what we've talked about before. I'm going to just walk this way to catch his attention. Yeah, and here he comes. He says, you got my attention. We've talked about Dash and how he will tail suck on occasion, and he likes putting his foot in his mouth like that on occasion. He doesn't mutilate himself, but unfortunately, since Dash was raised alone, which was the best decision for Dash as well as Winona, as advised by our veterinary staff, that he does little things like that to comfort himself. And as I said, he's not mutilating himself. It's him just doing kind of one of those things that has become a learned behavior for him. He says, I got things to do. I got to go stalk Daisy. I got things to do. Alrighty. Onward and forward. We are going to take the long way over to Tigress Winona before I go. I know you guys always are curious about how Daisy and Dash interact on their shared wall. And Tammy did kind of mention, and I have to agree with her, is what's their relationship like? And I definitely think that if Daisy had it her way, she would want to swallow Dash whole. Miss Daisy definitely enjoys having him near, but you can tell she gets pretty excited when Mr. Dashers is around. And as you can see, we've had to put up the blind kind of right where both of their rooms come into the main or the central animal building. Just give Dash a little bit more space and not get Daisy so overstimulated about Mr. Dashers. Alrighty. Dandelions abound. Really is springtime here. Mild temps, kind of the intermittent rain showers, but really just booming plant growth all around. The leaves are coming in. All of the dandelions, obviously, and actual weeds. Caretakers have been doing some weeding in the habitats. I'm listening to a kind of hum of one of the zero-turn lawnmowers in the distance. So it really did flick on that summer switch around here. I'll make a little pit stop to Leo and Mansa because our end destination is Tigress Winona. We're getting a good little slice of life and checking in to see how all of the cats are enjoying their day to day. And if you're just joining us, it's been a little bit of a rocky stretch service-wise. We started out the post up in Wildcat Pines, visiting with some of our rescued bobcat residents. And kind of got the boot because of some poor cell phone service, but we're back live. We've seen the cheetahs. We just saw Dash having a blast in his pool. We've seen Gino laying in a rather risque position. I see Dimitri on the left-hand platform. I see, looks like Zeekers sitting on one of those steps, and their brother Griffin up on the tallest platform on the right. So it looks like all three of those boys are indeed enjoying themselves. I see Jeremy and Simon from a distance. It's really great cat weather to speak truthfully. Not a whole lot of direct sun. It's a little warmer, but not too warm. So what a treat. Vianney is saying that humidity has Leo's mane looking real extra today. I agree with that. My hair is a little too long right now, and I can always tell when it's humid, it can get extra fluffy. So Leo certainly was looking extra floofy today. And maybe a question that some of you may wonder is, I see caretaker Misha cruising around on the zero-turn lawnmower. I see animal care intern Sam doing some weed whipping down the hallway there. Is how do the cats react to loud noises like that? And I think you've been able to see exactly that. They're not too perturbed by it. We saw the Tiger Trio enjoying the sunny afternoon on their platform, regardless of the noise. We've seen just about every cat enjoying their time around, even if there's those loud noises, which is nice to see. And you can see there, much different of a pool than Dash's there, kind of an irregular shape to it, and theirs is going to be much deeper. I'd even want to say that theirs is kind of getting up into the 4.5 feet deep or so. And I hear some weed whipping happening over near Winona's habitat, but we're still going to head over there nonetheless. I do see her on her platform. We'll make a little pit stop on Pandora, who's relaxing on her top perch. I got to catch up on some comments here. Look at you guys helping me answer questions. Someone was asking, how much does a cat eat? And then someone replied, once a day, which is correct. And then someone replied, well, it depends if the cat's on certain medications, which is also correct. Great job, everyone. And yeah, that's exactly right. We feed our cats a diet, full diet, once a day. We do not do any type of binge feeding for our cats. Obviously, you guys are aware of the different kind of styles in which we feed our cats, the forage feeding, the cooperative feeding, things like that. But that's correct. Every cat eats once a day, but we are going to be administering medication for that cat. Maybe they have a PM med piece, maybe they have an AM med piece, maybe they have a AM, PM, and noon med piece. And so those med pieces are kind of going to be exactly that, a little kind of morsel of beef or chicken that we're able to kind of lodge that medication in, very much similar to what you would do for your dog or cat at home. And I hear Alex weed whipping, so it might not be the most quiet for us, but we'll nonetheless go up and say hi to Winona. Maybe we can go around to the other side too. Yes, I see you, Goofy. Looks good, Alex. Looks good. And he's got his protective hearing protection on, so he cannot hear my kudos. But nonetheless, Alex, keep on kicking butt. And I think Winona is already setting her sights on the paparazzi here. Awesome to see you guys helping me out with some of the more kind of generic questions about how much a wildcat weighs and who are our biggest residents. Definitely some of the most asked questions. And it's cool to hear that you guys are so informed that you can help me out. I think Winona's a little curious about the weed whip. And another thing about it being lawn mowing season is, the grass really provides kind of its own type of scent enrichment as well. So oftentimes you'll see caretakers, they've gone through, they've kind of done some mowing in a habitat. Next thing you know, you see a orange tiger that's basically turned green because they've began really kind of rubbing on that fresh cut grass and getting that scent, which is pretty fun to see. She says, yeah, what in the world is that thing? I don't know. Faith Warner loves Miss Beautiful Winona. And Jeremy saying, I've taught you well. Well, thank you, Jeremy. And I was taught well by Tammy and so many others before me. All right. Maybe see if Miss Tao's around, and I think that might be the old curtain call on today's live post. And admittedly, I got a lot of stuff to do back at my desk, but round 2, despite that poor internet can have taught us, we are not going to let little stuff like that get us down. Oh, man. Well, I know we can't see much of Tao, but I think you can only imagine how comfortable a spot like that is. And kind of just like I said, is that we have these natural habitats and we kind of like them overgrown, but we're still kind of going in there and doing our own kind of trimming and mowing to ensure that, especially for a cat like Tao, we know who's forepaw declawed and has some mobility issues because of that, that she's going to be able to navigate around and do exactly what she wants to do in a day. But really one of the benefits we were talking about, it helps out the wild-born so they can feel a little more confident in that tall grass. But plain and simple, that tall grass makes excellent cat beds, and you can see Miss Tao giving us an excellent example of how comfortable those cat beds are and how special some of these kind of tall grass patches are to them. So fun to see Miss Tao. If I kind of zoom out here, you might be even hard pressed to realize that there is indeed a bobcat in this habitat. But there is a very relaxed bobcat at that. Fun. Oh, Sandy's signal is spotty, but I'm hanging in there with my granddaughter, showing her. Hey, Sandy, that's cool. Welcome to you and your granddaughter. And you know, if I could bestow upon her a badge of, you know, a junior wildcat advocate, I certainly would. It's so cool that you're getting your granddaughter started so early towards such an important cause, helping ensure that cats like Tao, who are voiceless, helping them give them a voice. Now that's so cool. I'm gonna zoom in one more time. I think we can get a little bit of her face there. But nonetheless, Miss Tao, we made a live post out of something today. I appreciate everyone's patience with the darn internet dropping out, but hey, we made it through and we got to see some of the cats you all do so much to support, which is the most important thing. Tomorrow is Friday. We had a long weekend with Memorial Day weekend, the holiday weekend this week. But tomorrow's Friday. Look forward to more kind of aquatic cats here at TWS, hoping to do another pool live post. Caretaker Alyssa was going to help me out. But until then, I hope everyone has a great rest of their Thursday today. And a safe rest of their day as well. And looking forward to seeing you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary tomorrow. Bye, everyone.